we've been talking about this game all week, obviously, and I'll be completely honest with you. I was very confident at the beginning of the week. I've come down to where I'm almost expecting to lose now.
I mean, it is Ron Rivera.
I mean, it's just like we're such big favorites for no reason.
There are reasons.
No, the reason is called Tommy DeVito. That's the reason you're
Tommy
a big
DeVito,
favorite.
Whatever. They can't scheme around. They still have a guy named Saquon Barkley. He can hand off.
Okay,
it's not like we're great against the run.
Look at his yards per carry on the season.
It doesn't. I get it, but it doesn't
No,
matter.
I know what you're saying. When do you blow out teams? You know what I mean?
Well, we never blow out
yeah,
teams.
when do you take care of business when you're supposed to take care of
Obviously,
business?
this is the kind of game on paper you would think we would win, but we just lost to them. Sam Howell had, I think, well, maybe the Buffalo game was worse, but I mean, this is one of his worst games of the season.
Buffalo game was worse because he had 4 interceptions.
Right. So this is one of his 2 worst games of the year.
This one he was sacked, and they just didn't do anything offensively, especially in the first half.
I mean, we're 29th in passing yards allowed. I think we're second. We're 31st in points allowed.
Yeah, but if you read the articles,
they just beat us.
If you read the articles coming out of New York,
this is what I'm reading.
They have one of the most
blue view.
They have one of the most historically worst offenses. They're averaging 11.8 points per game and just 259 yards per game. The league average is 21.8 points per game. So they're way below league average in points.
Last time all they needed was 8 to beat us.
And there's an article all about Tommy DeVito, and they said he just didn't look. He didn't look the part at all.
I mean, Saquon has one 100-yard rushing game this season, and he got there on 36 carries for 128 yards against the Jets.
What did
Saquon this season? Not scary.
Yeah.
Well, because if you're facing the Giants, what else do you have to worry about?
Nothing. You neutralize Saquon, you win the game.
Well, the first time we played him, we did an okay job against him. He had 77 yards on 21 carries. That's only 3.7 yards per carry, but he did have 3 catches for 44 and a touchdown. And by the way, that was the difference in the game.
They're also super banged up.
Okay. We also lost our 2 best pass rushers. Undeniable. I thought it would be addition by subtraction, and maybe it is in terms of guys, playing the scheme better, but it hasn't translated into pressure on the quarterback. We have 26 sacks on the season. That's 15th in the NFL, so that's very average. We lost our 2 best pass rushers in the last couple of weeks.
If they do lose, Ron should be fired within an hour of the game.
Immediately.
Not like the next day on Monday.
Well, draft
and I understand
theory
it's
is that
Thanksgiving.
They have the Thursday game
I
coming
don't
up.
care.
Yeah.
Right, just give the keys to whoever at that point.
The enemy can run the show the rest of the way.
Yeah.
The enemy would be up to the task. You fire him
I'm nervous.
at 4:30 p.m.
You cannot get swept by the Giants with Tyrod and Tommy DeVito at the helm. Maybe you can stomach it if Daniel Jones is there because he's had weird success in his career against the Commanders. You can't do it with a second and third string quarterback beating your allegedly sound defense,
But
which we know is a joke at this
So
point.
obviously offensively they're struggling. They're 32nd in pass. JP mentioned scoring. They're 32nd in scoring. Overall, offensively, they're 32nd. But they're 14th in rushing. So my guess is they're just going to pound the football against us. Just pound it.
Well, they have no other choice. They can't rely on Tommy DeVito. He passed for 86 yards against the Cowboys.
Right. I don't know. It's a game that I'm getting very, very... What did the line open up at? I see it now...
10 or 10.5.
Yeah, well, I see it now down to 8.5.
So money's coming in on the Giants.
Of course.
People are pouring money in on the bum Giants.
Now, there's been a ton of injuries, and I'm trying to pull this up quickly. I think even though Curtis Samuel played last week, he's been somewhat limited in practice. Derek Forrest, they say, is coming along. I don't know if that means he'll be available. JP, I know you have the Giants injuries, or at least you saw it during the break. We were talking about the Giants and who they have banged up. They have quite a few guys, right?
Oh, yeah. Their injury report had like 10 or 15 guys. I just clicked off it. But
all right. I'm sorry.
Thibodeau's banged up, as is Okereke, their stud linebacker.
Well, those are 2 key guys for them.
They both were limited in practice on Thursday. Jalen Hyatt is in, I guess he's in concussion protocol. He's questionable. Barkley was limited in practice Thursday as well. So he's not coming in at 100% with an ankle injury.
Here it is. I mean, I'm just going to show you this. Here's the Commanders at the top, and here's the Giants injury report. It's like 3 times as long.
Right. Well, the thing is it was just a few weeks ago where we had the huge disappointment to them. Howell was sacked 6 times. Jonathan Allen went viral for saying he was sick and tired of this S,
right.
if you remember that. And, you talk about it, their defense with their 6 sacks plays right in to what the enemy likes to do, which is pass all the time.
Right.
Pass all the time.
Keep passing. Keep
He did
it.
run the football more, though, in the second half of the last game.
He did.
Which opened up the play action.
But if they keep up with this 3-to-1 pass to run ratio, that's going to play right into our favorite defensive coordinator, Wink Martindale's hands, who loves the blitz, and they took advantage of
but the
us.
protection has been better ever since they reshuffled the offensive line. So I'm just banking on that he's not going to go back to the game plan against the Giants where he was just getting ragdolled all over the place. Not going to see that again.
If they beat the Giants, and they should, do you get sized again, EB? Do you start grasping?
I mean, in the back of my mind, I'll be a little bit optimistic, a small percentage, but I already know it's over. The nail in the coffin was the Seattle game.
Because of the schedule.
Yeah. The nail in the coffin was the Seattle game. It's going to be too many.
He'll be fully back in if they beat if they do the double dip. If they beat the Giants, short week in Dallas on Thanksgiving.
And then who do we have after that?
The Dolphins, I believe. Here.
I don't think.
Unless I'm missing a game. I think that's right.
Kind of depends on what the Vikings do. Because the Vikings, they've actually been winning games.
They don't
the last two with Josh Dobbs
this week. They're in Denver. Denver's been playing better of late. They just won.
But so I think you'd have more hope if the Vikings lose.
I'm not even, honestly, I'm telling you, I'm not thinking about playoffs. I just don't want to lose to the Giants. I like to just win every week, but I believe the playoffs are done. We screwed the pooch losing to the Bears, losing to the Giants, and the nail in the coffin was losing to a beatable Seahawks team. That was the nail in the coffin.
They had their opportunity.
We had their opportunity, squandered it, and it's over. So now it's just about I just hope, honestly, at this point, I just hope Hal keeps playing well, keeps stacking good games, and that we don't have to go searching for a quarterback, trading up for a Drake May or Caleb Williams or something, and grasp and start all over. I think we'd be way ahead of the curve, assuming Hal continues to improve, stay with him, and build around him, than starting over from scratch with a rookie and building up.
Probably, although Sam Howell playing as he has only won a handful of games.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? So
a lot of the blame goes to the defense underperforming.
I understand that.
He's doing his part.
And I'm going to put more and more blame on Ron because in 4 years, this is what they are.
Right.
This year is actually a signature Ron year. Every year is kind of the same for him.
No, I know.
Start off slow. Terrible in first halves.
You know what? All the years under Ron, uninspiring.
Correct.
Mostly meh type years.
It's just so funny that the Commanders are such heavy favorites against the team they just lost to. So many disappointing games this year.
That's why I was off them on the Survivor, although I do think they should handle the Giants rather easily.
I think they're going to shellac the Giants.
I think that's a possibility.
I think they're going to just manhandle them.
But our official Survivor play is the Commanders.
That is correct.